In spite of the fact that I'm a big fan of the Mana series, I missed out on Legend of Mana when it first hit PlayStation way back in 1999. I had my reasons for never having played it, and in hindsight, yes, those reasons are very stupid. Back then, I'd written off 2D games entirely. Now that I'm older and wiser, I recognize the error of my ways and consider myself fortunate to be able to give Legend of Mana a second chance in its newly remade form. This is the kind of beautiful JRPG I can really get lost in, and I mean that both literally and figuratively. I knew this was going to be something special right off the bat because the logo for M2 flashed across the screen during startup. M2 is famous for going well above and beyond expectations when it comes to emulation and restoration, and its work here is no exception. The Legend of Mana remake has lost nothing in its translation to modern hardware. Every background has been redrawn to work with modern 16:9 displays. It is quite a feat when you think about it. Each location looks absolutely stunning, and it's a real testament to the skill and dedication of M2 when it comes to honoring our video game past. The character and enemy sprites retain their original, chunky and pixelated looks, and honestly, I wouldn't have it any other way. The juxtaposition of such gorgeous sprite work with the smooth, clean lines of the anime-style backgrounds works incredibly well. It was the right artistic choice because the sprites, particularly the screen-filling bosses, are some of the most beautiful around, and it would have been all but impossible to improve upon them. The balance it strikes between hand-drawn and sprite work is, it's just perfection. As far as story and gameplay are concerned, The Legend of Mana on Switch or PlayStation 4 is pretty much the same as it is on the PS1. Since this was my first time playing, I can't speak from personal experience, but I can say if you go and watch videos of any part of any playthrough of Legend on original hardware, it sure looks functionally identical. It's fun, with a huge cast of characters, but the overall story isn't particularly engaging or novel. There's a great peril, and the world is in danger, and it's up to you to make things right. The individual stories connecting to the secondary characters have a little more in the way of creativity, but not much. And there's basically nothing in terms of direction. Going in blind, I spent close to 20 hours going from quest to quest without any clues as to where or what I should do next. I finally got frustrated and consulted a guide and burned through the dragon run path to the end in under 3 hours. That obtuse and nonsensical quest structure makes Legend of Mana feel like a PS1 era game more than anything else. I still had a lot of fun playing it though, and that's got a lot to do with the battle system. It's similar to the previous Mana games, minus the in-battle circle menus. I never found myself struggling with the difficulty. There is no option to play in hard mode, and once I'd figured out the rhythm of battles and the awesome power of the Counter-Strike move, it felt pretty easy. On the rare occasion when I did fall in battle, Legend of Mana started me right back at the start of the action, so there was no need to retread half a dungeon just to get back into the thick of things. If you're having trouble, you can turn off encounters entirely if you'd prefer to just wander around the gorgeous hand-drawn world and take in all the scenery. That's surprising for a game from that era of JRPGs, and I definitely appreciated that option, even though I didn't need it. The Legend of Mana 2021 is as close to the original version as you could hope for while still bringing this classic original PlayStation JRPG into the modern era. The sprite work is timeless, and the newly redrawn widescreen backgrounds are, they're just perfect. Legend of Mana is a game I just want to look at and absorb into my eyes as much as I want to play it. Maybe even a little more so, because while combat holds up, the old school structure of its story makes it a little tougher to recommend, unless you're gonna play with a walkthrough guide open on your phone the whole time. I enjoyed my time with Legend of Mana, don't get me wrong, but wandering through its world from one unconnected quest to the next makes reaching the end feel like a very long guessing game, and there's little or nothing that can be done to remedy that without fundamentally altering the DNA of Legend of Mana. For more, check out our reviews of Chicory, A Colorful Tale, and Pac-Man 99, and for everything else, stick with IGN.